Hi everyone. In this episode of Geeky and Gay, we're going to talk about a more serious topic, which, this isn't going to be a completely serious channel, but this is just a topic that's kind of important to us, probably more important to me, but...
Today we're here to talk about the use of the word gay in slang and as an insult in everyday language. So to be honest, I don't really have a strong opinion on this topic, but it is an opinion that's getting stronger. Used to have practically no opinion, and now it's just I have a couple things that I'd like to talk about.
When people say, "That's so gay," or something similar, they just call something gay that they don't like. Like, oh, that movie looks so gay, or that person is so gay. Obviously, they're not saying the person or the thing is a homosexual. That makes no sense, except for the person, but 9 times out of 10, that is not the way it's being used, and that's not the usage we're talking about.
So, pretty much, I don't know, I think I'm a little bit jaded. I live in a very conservative place with, to be quite honest, a lot of kind of conservative, not as nice or aware people. I mean, the city's nice, but there can be just a little bit of old kind of ignorance flying around, and sometimes it comes up. So I'm a little bit jaded, and I, to be honest, don't really flinch as very often when that kind of language is used.
People that say that's so gay, there is no reason at all to use gay in that context. At all. Like, you don't say something is so Asian or so fat when you're talking about something you don't like. That's just stupid. Why would it be okay to associate an entire minority group with anything you don't like as just a generic catch-all term for something you don't like? That's not right.
But recently, I have sort of been trying to kind of divert it the other way. When I do hear people say, like, oh, that movie was so gay, I will say things like, what? That movie is sexually attracted to other movies of the same gender?
That's like me saying something is so straight, which I don't like, which I've started doing, kind of like to turn it around. I don't do it all the time in my daily language, but like, for example, if one of my friends says something is so gay, which doesn't happen often because I've kind of pushed them away from that, if someone says something is so gay, I'll be like, no, it's so straight.
And when my friends say things, sometimes relating to things that I like, for example, the easiest one to think of is High School Musical. So my friend will say, oh, Ling, High School Musical is so gay. And I'll be like, oh my god, you really think so? I love it. It is so great. It's so much fun. I can't believe, thank you for calling it that, because that is just, that's so, what a compliment. What a compliment. And my friends will kind of laugh and they'll be like, oh yeah, sorry. And I think they actually might get the point.
You're pretty much putting it in people's heads that the word gay is associated with 1, homosexuals, and 2, anything you don't like. And you can say that you don't mean it in that way, and you can say that the word has changed or it has different meanings. Yeah, gay also means happy and colorful, but the only people I see using it in that manner are the Flintstones, and they're all dead.
I use the word dyke to refer to whatever all the time. And I don't use the F word because I have problems saying it. Not that F word, because I can say that F word, fuck. But the other F word, I can't say it. I don't like that word at all. So I don't.
So, no one honestly uses it. They're using it in a way that means that gay is bad. They might not think in their head, oh, being gay is bad, But that's essentially the message they're sending when they use things like "that's so gay." It's hurtful and offensive, and you shouldn't do it. Okay?
But there's a huge difference between somebody who is in the community to say that word or to use that word to identify with, and some homophobic asshole using it on the street to try and hurt somebody. Huge difference. So that's pretty much my view on that. And then, I don't know, with people who try and justify it, that is what really gets me.
The other major offensive slang term that's used these days, mostly by kids, would be fag or faggot. This is particularly offensive because, in this sense, you're using a hateful, homophobic slur as a catch-all generic insult.
Because be honest with yourself and take responsibility for what you're saying. When you call someone a name like that, you're not calling them a bundle of sticks, and you're not calling them some sort of sausage from Europe. You're calling them this new thing. You weren't raised in the 20s when that word was used to describe that one thing. You're raised now, and that's what that means. And you don't go around calling people other horrible names that maybe were used back in the 40s.
Whatever, like, that person's a fag, they're an asshole. That person's a fag, they're annoying. That is particularly offensive. That is like saying that person is such a kike. I mean, I can argue all I want that there's no offensive connotation associated with the word kike anymore because it's so old, but honestly, yeah, there is. I can't just go around saying that someone is a kike even if they're not Jewish.
I guess it's just something that people have to learn, and they have to start taking responsibility, because words can hurt and it can be terribly isolating, and I think people, not all people, but a lot of people don't get how isolating it can be and what it feels like to be put on the spot where you're just actually isolated out there.
There's really no excuse for using the word fag or faggot as a generic insult to insult at someone, because it's just wrong, basically. Like, there's no other way I can put it. It's wrong, and it's offensive, and it's hateful.
For example, when you make a comment like that and you don't know what's going through everyone's head, and you don't know how awkward it is for the person who is standing there thinking, oh, I am part of that community, it's not cool. And you don't want to make somebody feel uncomfortable.
This has basically been a public service announcement brought to you by Ling and Josh. Watch what you say.
Maybe you do, and that makes you a douche.